You've been sold a lie, and it's the very thing keeping you trapped. It's the idea that time is money, and that to be successful, you have to hustle 24/7. This philosophy only acknowledges one type of wealth, financial. So you grind, you sacrifice sleep, you put your life on hold, all for a future payday that promises freedom. But what if that freedom never comes? What if the key to a truly rich life isn't about earning more money, but about owning more of your time? As author Sahil Bloom outlines in The 5 Types of Wealth, there are 5 types of wealth we should be managing: financial, social, physical, mental, and time wealth. We're taught to sacrifice all the others for the sake of the first one. I was making the best money of my life, but I was miserable. I was working harder than ever, getting praise for my work ethic, but my physical wealth was a wreck. My social wealth was strained, and I felt like a passenger in my own life. I was financially rich, but time poor. That's when I realized the system I was following is a trap. It's built on a foundation of myths that benefit everyone but you. Today, we're going to tear down those lies. More importantly, I'll give you the practical steps to dismantle that system in your own life and build one based on 5 types of wealth, not just dollars. The first and most dangerous lie is one you've heard a million times. Time is money. It sounds smart, but it's a belief that poisons your existence by forcing you to put a price tag on every minute of your life, reducing your entire existence to a financial calculation. If you're not actively earning, you're losing. A walk becomes a financial loss. Reading a book for fun is a waste of billable hours. Spending an unplanned hour with your family comes with a side of guilt. Here's the reality that changed everything. For me, in Sahil Bloom's framework, financial wealth is just one of 5 pillars. Time is your only truly non-renewable asset. You can always make more money, you can lose it all and get it back, but you can never ever get back a single second of lost time. When you let that sink in, the time is money equation just falls apart. The shift is from viewing time as a currency to viewing it as your life. Time wealth, the freedom to choose how you spend your moments, isn't about a monetized schedule packed to the minute. It's the ability to look at an empty hour in your calendar and feel peace, not anxiety. It's the freedom to say,
I'm not being productive right now, and that is my choice.
A truly time wealthy person can afford to do nothing productive and feel zero guilt because they're in control. They own their time. It doesn't own them. But reclaiming your time is only half the battle. If you don't know what to do with that time, you'll fall into the trap I'm explaining in section 3. This brings us to the next big lie, that hustle culture is the only way to get ahead. The message is clear. Your worth is directly proportional to how many hours you grind. This mindset demands you sacrifice what Sahil Bloom calls your physical and social wealth. You trade your health, sleep, and relationships for short-term output, believing it's the only path to financial wealth. This whole thing is a productivity trap. Hustle culture is a scam designed to make you trade your long-term health, creativity, and sanity for short-term, often meaningless output. It runs on a feeling of false urgency, where every email and notification feels like a 5-alarm fire. This keeps you in a constant state of fragmented, reactive attention, which is the absolute enemy of high-quality, meaningful work. The research actually shows the opposite is true. Elite performers don't just work more, they work smarter and rest better, protecting their physical wealth through movement, nutrition, and recovery. They isolate themselves for deep, focused work and prioritize strategic breaks. They get that rest isn't a luxury, it's a biological need for problem solving and creativity. And if that sounds like science fiction, just look at your own phone. How many urgent notifications actually matter? The real move here is to embrace strategic downtime. You have to start scheduling white space into your calendar. This isn't just empty time, it's protected time for recovery, for unstructured thought, for the very creativity that hustle culture claims to be championed but actually kills. True success isn't about being busy, it's about being effective. Now, as people start burning out from the hustle, they fall for the next lie.
If I just had more free time, I'd finally be happy.
The goal becomes stacking up off hours, thinking a huge block of unstructured time is the cure-all. But here's what usually happens. You get bored, anxious. You feel a weird lack of purpose. That's because happiness doesn't come from the quantity of your free time, but the quality of how you use it. This is where Bloom's concept of mental wealth comes in. The connection to purpose, meaning, and growth. An empty calendar can be just as stressful as an overpacked one if you lack purpose. The real goal isn't more time, it's more intentionality. Time wealth without mental wealth is just empty hours. True richness is having the clarity to know what really matters to you and the discipline to focus on it. I call these your essentials. The 3 to 5 things you love to do, the activities that energize you and give you a sense of meaning. Maybe it's writing, building a business, spending quality time with your kids, or hiking. The key is to then ruthlessly eliminate the time wasters, the stuff that drains your energy and doesn't align with those essentials. Doing 3 deeply meaningful things in a day is way more fulfilling than checking off 20 trivial tasks. It's about being the architect of your day, not a janitor just cleaning up messes. If this is hitting home for you and you're tired of feeling trapped by your own schedule, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. We talk about practical strategies for building a life of freedom all the time. This last lie is the sneakiest because it pretends to be a strength. The belief that to be truly successful, you have to do everything yourself. We tell ourselves that no one can do it as well as we can and that delegating is a waste of money. In reality, trying to do it all yourself is the biggest bottleneck to your own freedom. You become the choke point in your own life. There are only 24 hours in a day, and you're personally responsible for every single task. You'll never be free. The most time-wealthy people are masters of delegation, outsourcing, and automation. They understand one simple rule. They use their financial wealth to buy back their time wealth. Their time is best spent on their unique, high-value activities, their essentials, and basically nothing else. They don't see paying for a cleaning service or a virtual assistant as an expense. They see it as an investment in their freedom. You have to stop thinking about what it costs and start thinking about what it's worth. Debunking these lies is the mindset shift, but mindset without a system is just a dream. This is the blueprint for rebalancing your wealth portfolio to build a life that's rich in all 5 categories. And here's how to start. First, do a time audit. For 1 week, track where your time is actually going. Be brutally honest. Once you have the data, define your essentials. Those 3 to 5 things that build your time, social, mental, and physical wealth. Everything else is potentially a time waster. This clarity gives you a filter. You start making decisions with one question. Does this align with my essentials? If the answer is no, you say no. No becomes your default. Second, structure your calendar to protect your freedom. Use a technique called time blocking. Instead of a to-do list, you schedule blocks for your most important work. This should include a 3 to 4 hour block of deep work with 0 distractions. You also batch your communication. Answer emails once or twice a day, not every 5 minutes. And most importantly, schedule white space to build your mental wealth. Literally block out time for rest and unstructured thought and defend it like a meeting with your most important client. Finally, optimize relentlessly. This is where you eliminate, automate, and delegate. Cut any meeting that doesn't have a clear agenda. Then look at every task that isn't one of your essentials. Can you pay someone else to do it? Outsource it. Hire a house cleaner. Use a meal prep service. Get a virtual assistant. Yes, it costs money, but it buys you freedom. It's the best investment you'll ever make in your time wealth. The biggest lie is that time wealth is about having more hours. The truth is, it's about having more control and building a life that is rich in every dimension. Hustle culture tells you to sacrifice your time, health, and relationships for money. A truly wealthy life, as defined by Sahil Bloom, balances all 5 pillars: time, social, physical, mental, and financial wealth. It's about moving from being busy to being free. And it starts with this. Stop treating time like money and start treating it like your life. Define your handful of essentials that build all 5 forms of wealth and ruthlessly eliminate or delegate everything else. Build a schedule that serves you, not the other way around. This is how you escape the trap. This is how you get your life back. So my question for you is this. What is the single biggest time waster you're gonna eliminate from your life this week? Leave a comment below and let me know. I read them all. My name is Stephen Cofer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.